Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're so excited. This is Plants4Mation or Amazing Plants4Mationz, episode one. And as you all know, I started my journey at 42, and I wish I had known about this whole food, plant based lifestyle earlier. But I wanted to bring on our first guest, and we're so excited because he proves that it's never too late to change your health and change the way you think and the way you do things. And I'm so excited to bring to us. And also, we've got Dawn J&J Video here as well, helping us talk with Rick McKeon. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much to J&J Video for coming on and being with us here because a lot of what Rick talks about in his journey is also the way that he had to kind of change his mindset. And we have a lot of links that we're going to put on the description here that's going to show you his book and his journey and a lot of things. It has to do with what J&J talks about a lot is your mindset. So not only does your body help when you're trying to transform, but your mindset is so important. And I found that as well. I had to really let this resonate with me. Um, so I think what we should start with is Rick, can you tell us a little bit about your story and your journey?
I can do that. I'll try to make it not too long. Just as kind of a quick summary. I'm 77 years old
Oh,
now.
make it long. We love it.
In a couple of months, I'll be 78 in January. So, and I think right now I'm in
Wow,
better
you look fantastic, Rick. Not to cut you
Yes,
off.
I
You
was
look
gonna
fantastic.
say
I'm
that
so
just
proud of you for making this transformation at this time in your life. That's amazing.
well. Thank you. I actually feel that I'm in much better health now than when I was in my 50s and 60s. In
I
fact, I
believe it.
know because I had a heart attack back then, and I was not in good shape, and I was morbidly obese and many other things. Anyhow, uh, like I'd mentioned, about 15 years ago, I had a heart attack and open heart surgery, triple bypass. So that got my attention, but like only for a while, really, for a couple of months. Then I was right back to my old ways of eating loads of junk food, drinking a 12 pack of beer almost every day. I mean, I really am an alcoholic, have alcoholic tendencies anyhow. And my weight started going up and my health started going back down again. So about 3 years ago, I woke up one morning with my left arm was completely numb. Not just like when you sleep on it wrong and you can just shake it off. It was numb and it stayed numb. Also, I had partial blindness in my right eye. There was a big black area in my right eye. So I thought, oh, this is something serious. And maybe I had a stroke or a bleed in the eye, or probably both. So I went into the emergency room, and that's when I discovered I had some major issues going on, not just numbness and blindness, but um, I was morbidly obese at 275 pounds. My blood pressure was had sky high, was dangerously high. Let me see what I wrote down here. I was at 228 over 137 in terms of blood pressure. Um, I
Wow,
was
you
in,
were pretty much knocking at death's door, huh?
well, yeah, absolutely. I was about to explode. In fact, that's probably what happened. Uh, was a bleed in the eye and maybe a stroke or a mild stroke. But I was in stage 3 kidney failure. There's a measure called uh, EGFR, estimated glomerular filtration rate, and it's supposed to be above 60. Mine was down at 30, indicating stage 3 kidney
wow.
failure. I had an enlarged liver, which only makes sense by the way I was drinking. And then they uh, they took an X-ray, and I had a spot on my lungs. The emergency room doctor said I had too much blood. And I said, "What do you mean too much blood?" And they wanted to take some blood off. In fact, I did allow them to take a unit off. Uh, and the oncologist said, that's bone marrow cancer. You're producing too many red red blood cells. And boy, there were just several things. And I was in pretty serious shape. So I thought, okay, I need to do something. They tried different blood pressure medications, several of them, and it turned out to be allergic to all of them, like lisinopril and metoprolol. My tongue would swell up and my throat. In fact, one time I had to go in and they kept me there because they were going to stick a tube down my throat so I could breathe. I could barely walk because of the weight and because of the arthritis in my hips. And um, I had struggled just to get from the bedroom to the kitchen in the morning. I would hang on to the wall and everything else. I could barely bend over and pick something up off the floor. And
Wow.
That's
it was
amazing
amazing. Well,
that you're
yeah,
here.
well, it is. I'm convinced that if I hadn't made some major changes a few years ago, uh, I'd be dead right now. I would not be sitting here talking to you. Also, I had arthritis
No
in my
doubt.
shoulder.
No doubt. Absolutely no doubt whatsoever that that
Well,
probably would
yeah,
have been the case.
if that trajectory would have continued, that was major downhill. So I had arthritis in my shoulders so that I could, I sleep on my side, but I could only sleep on one side for maybe 20, 30 minutes, and I'd have to flop over to the other side. Um, so I was flopping back and forth all night long. So major issues there. And I thought, I'd heard about whole food, plant-based diet. And I thought, that's the way I got to go. And so I jumped right in with both feet. Um, I didn't do it perfectly, but I was basically jumping in with both feet as opposed to trying to introduce a little bit here, a little bit there, because I was in such serious condition.
Rick, I listened to I believe it was on your YouTube where you talked about that, or it may have been something that you wrote, and it made me think about my own journey. I can't do a little bit of moderation as well because I think you don't get the full benefits of the plant-based diet at that point if you don't clear everything else out, and it makes it harder to continue because you're not completely resonated with it. So I think I'm the same way that I had to go in, and I know Dawn's the same way too. We have to go full force into it.
Yeah. And there are those who feel
All
that
or
they,
nothing.
yeah. Well, there are those who feel they want to just kind of introduce it gradually, which is fine. But yeah, I'm like you guys. And even, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, the heart specialist, he has a program where he's actually reversed heart disease in many patients. And that's the way his program is too. He says, you're going to be on this program all or nothing. If you cheat or whatever, you're out of the program. So several people believe it, and I think it's easier, frankly, for my own personality. Maybe it's my addictive personality or whatever, but yeah, all or nothing. Now, I haven't done that perfectly. I've had slips and setbacks quite a bit. So I call my health journey my bumpy road back to health because it has been bumpy. But one of the main messages I want to convey to people, I am on some groups on Facebook. And many times people say, oh, I fell off the wagon. I feel so bad and I don't know if I can get back on. And I always say that there's no such thing as failure until or if you finally just give up and quit. That would be failure. But otherwise, just get right back on the program and
That's it.
keep moving forward. So that's one of the main
Because
messages
when you
that,
think about it, Rick, you're going to keep moving forward anyway, unless you're planning on jumping off a bridge. So
yeah,
you're going to keep moving forward anyway. You might as well do it in a healthy way and do it in a way that makes you a lot happier
absolutely, definitely. And I know
and
today
healthier.
I can get out and hike. I can do many other
Wow, that's
activities.
amazing.
Yeah. Uh, I like to do some treasure hunting, and I've got a metal detector. Well, I had to stop doing that altogether because I just couldn't get down on the ground. I had a hard time getting down and getting back up again if I were going to dig a target. So I can do a lot of things today. And I think the other main message, I mean, there are a lot of different messages, of course, but the other one is I hear a lot of people saying, well, my mom feels she's too old, or, my dad thinks he can't change his ways. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're not too old. I'm like I said earlier, I'm 77 now and hope to be around for a little while longer. So I would
I
encourage any.
believe you will be.
And Rick, tell us what else you like. What happened? Like, how long did that take for you to start seeing those changes? Because I know I've read that you're now like pretty much almost completely off all medications, and you already mentioned your hiking. Like, when did you start to feel those changes coming about, where your arthritis and pain was reducing after starting the diet or staying on it?
I started noticing changes immediately. It wasn't like I had to wait months and months or a year. I mean, it took a year or so to achieve several goals, but I started noticing changes immediately. I mean, in the first month, I lost 30 pounds and my blood pressure
Wow.
dropped down to almost normal. And that was just in 1 month. So, this way of living can make a difference pretty quickly. I know some people say that they don't notice those changes immediately, but I certainly did.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
yeah, it is amazing.
That's what I
I
said.
I
Like the
want to
same
do that.
thing.
I'm
It,
on that trajectory. I'm done. I'm doing it, Rick.
All right. All
I'm
right, man.
taking that leap. Jen's already done it. I'm taking that leap. I've toyed with it. I've already given up meat, but the dairy thing is where I've been having my issues. I'll have like, creamer in my coffee, and every now and then I'll get the occasional pizza. But other than that, I'm vegan. I don't drink regular milk or anything like that. And pizza is the only thing that I indulge in from time to time. I even eat vegan ice cream now. Jen's got me on it. So, and I eat a bunch of veggies. So, and I drink a ton of water. So I'm almost there. I just want to make that complete transformation to vegan.
That's
But I am
that.
plant based.
I tell her that the major improvements, like that she went on the raw, like eating the raw salad every day, and like that is a major accomplishment because she's doing more things right than she's not at this point. So she's still going to see some of those health benefits, but getting all the way, I think that's what did it for. Like you said, I lost so much weight in my first couple of months. I felt like, and my allergies went completely away, which amazed me. I was only vegan for 2 months when allergy season came on, and like since a child, I would have allergies. I'd wake up stuffy. I don't have any of that, and it was after 2 months of eating plant based. It was like amazing, like the transformation. Like people don't realize you don't have to do it for years and years to see these changes, and I think that's what's inspiring about your story is because with it being like at that stage in life too, and where you were, like that is what I always say. It can reverse and it can prevent, but it can also reverse things, like the fact that you don't have to take medication. People think they have to be on that for the rest of their life, and they don't.
I want to
Yes,
give a shout out to one of our listeners, Danetta 27 over there in the chat. She said she tuned in during her lunch break. Thanks, Danetta. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And then she's saying, my dad's a vegan for 25 plus years now, and it really takes a lot of discipline. Yes, it does. Jen's been that way for a couple years now, and it really does. It takes discipline.
and I don't know much about discipline or willpower, frankly. But like you mentioned earlier about mindset, if I'm in the right mindset and I'm thinking health, and I'm taking my blood pressure each day and my weight, and I'm focusing, I watch videos, a lot of great videos and books, then it gets a lot easier. I think the key is motivation and mindset, and just make it a way of life.
Shout out to Tap Into Love for Hoop Culture. He's another one of our listeners. Thank you, Tap. Hey, he's saying, hey, Jen. Hey, Rick. Hey, JJ. How you
Thank
doing?
you, and thank you, New Media, for having me as part of the group or the family. Thank you all. I appreciate everything.
Excellent.
And that's it, as exactly what you said. Let it resonate with you. I know, like Rick, you just said, what that's why I'm excited to be able to do this particular stream and to be able to put this on YouTube, because this could inspire someone, and this is something that will keep me inspired if I watch it over and over at any point in time. It's so resonated with me now also because I kind of got into a little bit of the animal rights part of it, and I think that that's sunk in too. So I just think it's so much that is, it's deep, it's in me now. It's like I have such a passion for it, and hearing your story, I think that's why it made me feel so good that you would come on and like share this with us, especially with the first stream that I'm doing, because I think your story is so powerful.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, I got into this way of living because of health issues, pretty severe. But my goal now, and this is part of my, I think, emotional, mental turnaround, is to see if I can help and inspire and educate other people. Uh, and I've gotten feedback already on my website and other places saying, your stories changed my life. Well, that's what it's all about, is to help other people, to kind of motivate them and inspire them. And that's why I started.
Changing lives one at a time, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I started the website. It's called Plant-Based Health and Wellness, which is abbreviated pbhw.site, not com, dot site.
That site, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And that's not
We will
completely
we will
popular.
include that link in the description of this video. Anybody out there listening, and guys in the chat, we'll include all of his links in the descriptions to these videos. And we are broadcasting simultaneously on both Vegan Knowledge as well as J&J Video with this stream. So shout out to DZ for the technology that he's brought into new media for us to be able to even do that.
Yes, thank you,
That's
DZ. We
great. Thank
appreciate
you.
it. And the website, what is actually contained on it? Do you have like different things that you eat and like recipes? Is it or just information?
Yeah, I have all of that. Now, this site is not completely populated. I've just been in this journey for a few years now, and I was so excited that I wanted to put the site up. But I've got on there, of course, my story, health topics, of some technical, some non-technical topics, some recipes. I've got links to experts to follow and videos, recommended videos. Again, not complete, but started, and books to read, and several things like that. So it's worth exploring. I hope to continue building that site and adding more information so it can become a nice resource. Also,
Absolutely. And I wanted you to go ahead, and I'm sure you're about to tell us too, but I know you've also written a book.
well, yeah, this has been a life change, and I was so excited. I started documenting things, and I thought, I'm going to put this together in a book. So I wrote this book. I don't know if this will show up good on camera, but it's called Plant-Based Health and Wellness. And this is a little bit of a plug, I guess. But anyhow, I have
Plug it,
endorsed.
plug it.
Plug away.
Well,
And before you do that, shout out to Ball Don't Lie podcast.
Yes.
He's saying he's raising his son vegan. Good for you, my brother. Good for you. And he's saying salute to us doing it.
And
So
he's not, he said it's hard since he's not, which is very
right
commendable. Thank you for, I'm
for
sure
doing that.
that your son appreciates that, and you're awesome for coming on and listening. I appreciate it, and for putting that out there, because I think if we cannot, if kids are not used to eating what we were used to eating, it's a hard change when we got grown up, we grew up eating certain things, and that emotional
We've
connection
already
with
been
food.
programmed. We've already
Yes.
been programmed.
So it's going to make it easier for him to be healthy.
Go ahead, Rick. Not to cut you off, sweetheart. Go ahead.
that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Uh, I know kids. A lot of people are saying kids are difficult to work with sometimes, like that. But get them
That's when
started
they're
right.
a fresh new palette with not a lot of bunch of paint on it already. That's the perfect time to do it. So good
Well,
for
yeah,
you, Ball Don't Lie.
yes, very good. So anyhow, with regarding the book, I already have endorsements from several of my personal heroes, Dr. Neil Barnard, and
Well, Jen, I hear you mention him all the time.
I love Dr. Neil. That is awesome.
yeah, he heads up the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. They do a great work, and of course they have a website and all that. Also, Michael Clapper wrote a nice endorsement. He's again one of my favorites. He's a funny guy and he's a great
Yes.
teacher. And uh, Ann Esselstyn, the wife of Dr. Esselstyn, wrote some nice comments too. Pam Popper, and then my own personal physician at the VA wrote a nice testimonial. Also, my dentist. So anyhow, uh, Yeah, and people have written back saying that they enjoyed the book. It's written like, I'm not a doctor, or really, I'm not even an expert. I'm learning some things as I go along, but I'm just a regular person who's talking about his experiences and the things that he's learned. Now, I have learned a lot from all these videos and books and stuff, but I don't claim to be, an authority or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you're quite the authority to me because you're living proof. You remind me of where I am in the journey. I don't know, everything there is to know, but I've watched so much and learned so much. And like you said, if we can get more physicians like the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine to put this out there, and we talk about this, I've been lucky enough to be on J&J stream all the time talking about how it's kind of a almost a disparity that the industry is sponsored, by so much of the meat and dairy industry. So that gets kind of pushed by the wayside, the nutritional part of how we can, and doctors recommending diet first instead of the medication and just pushing the pharmacology, the pharmacy medications. But there's so much money involved, it's difficult, just like it is for a person to make that change. I think it's difficult for the entire industry and the medical field to make that change as well.
No doubt. And of course, there are a lot of other ramifications with animal-based diet in terms of the environment and animal cruelty and stuff like that. That was not my main motivation, frankly. When I started, mine was simply to try and get healthy.
Right.
Uh, but there's a lot more to it than just getting healthy.
And also, both Rick and I have our story on another awesome website you can check out, and that's how I actually met Rick. Was Deb Vive, who actually runs a website called vegancouragement.com, and that has stories of myself, Rick, and like I think there's 12 people on there now that, and it's growing, of people who've like transformed their life and their like story about being vegan. So, and she's got all kinds of resources on there, like different links, like Rick's site also with all the videos and things that you can watch and resources if you're transitioning. And if like there's anything going on with you, I think Rick can prove, that it is not too late to turn it around. If you're on medication, you can get off of it. If you can't even walk, like he said, it was
Yeah.
difficult to walk. It was arthritis. I know my back pain went completely away. It really is amazing. And I know, Don, you've had some changes that as well when you went plant based.
Yeah, I had allergies really bad and a lot of things that happened with me, with my vision. So I still don't know what caused it. I went to, a few doctors, didn't know what happened, didn't know what was going on. Still to this day don't know why. But it's not the black spot that's going on, but it's just extremely bright, almost like it would be a cataract or so. Like my lens is just really cloudy. I can still see enough to function, but I can't see any detail to where I can really work on a computer like a normal person. Forget about driving. Okay, that's just completely out. I mean, I can go ahead and move the car. I can see enough to do that, but to get on a road and actually drive to another city, no, I wouldn't take it past driving to the local store, really, and I really shouldn't even be doing that. So it's gotten to a point where it has legally affected me. But I'm, I'm of the mindset that nothing possible to change, and you can manifest anything that you set your mind to with intent. Got to have intent. Can't just set your mind on it. That's not good enough. You have to have intent. And that means it has to come from the heart. You have to mean it. You have to want it. And if I do that, then I know that the change in my eyesight will come along with doing the physical things that it takes. You know what I mean? Eating the plants and staying off of dairy, staying off of meat, and just
Because look at what
yeah.
you already do and what you already accomplish. I mean, she's running this stream.
Well,
So you definitely know how
and
to
that's
fight the
because
mindset
I'm
of not being able to
determined
do it.
for it not to stop me. That's the mindset that I have. Just like you said, Rick, what are you going to do? You got to move forward. So I choose
Yeah.
not to move forward in a way that's going to, make me feel like I just want to, drown my sorrow. I mean, move on, find out what you can do and enhance it. Like Danetta said, it takes discipline. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I
And
love, go ahead. No, I love your story. When did you start this? You started it at 73, right? The plant based, and now you're 77?
Yeah.
73, dude. He started this, guys.
And
So
where do
yeah,
we find
That's crazy.
the book actually, Rick? Is it on Amazon?
it is on Amazon, and it's on several other outlets. But if people just go to my website, they'll see all the links. I've got a book page up there. They'll see all the links to where they can buy it. Or if you go to Amazon and just search Rick McKeon, you all of my books will come up. I have more than just the health book, but we're talking health today. So yeah, they go to my website. That's a good place to start.
And that
Wow.
is PB. Sorry. What are the initials again? And it was dot site. I remembered that.
Yeah, it's called plant-based health and wellness. So it's pbhw dot site.
If you guys don't mind, I will drop the link to this stream in the section. That way, if anybody has a story or any questions that they like to ask Rick, if you don't mind, they can come on the panel if that's cool.
Sure. And also, my email address is up there. I do respond to emails. I'm certainly pleased to answer questions if I can. I don't know everything, but certainly pleased to answer questions.
The way that your book and the things that you've put together, I think that will inspire people. I know that we can all read nutritional stuff and we can read like pages and pages of research and things, but the stories that I found most inspiring to keep me interested and to keep me like motivated were people, just people talking. I remember a man talking about, I don't even remember who it is now, but I remember watching so many YouTube videos that, oh, I cured my asthma, I cured my acne, I mean, there was something for everything, including cancer and multiple sclerosis. And like, it was just unbelievable the amount of things I was reading. And like, how come I don't hear about this? So I think it's so important for us to put these stories out there like yours.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate you doing this. The more people we can reach, the better. Now,
The better.
I'm not saying that a whole food plant-based diet is going to cure everything. I think I can't say that, but it certainly has improved things for me.
Yes, and that's
It
the thing we
certainly
can
it
speak
certainly
from.
won't hurt.
Hmm. So anyhow, uh, a couple of years ago, I had the blood work done again, and everything was normal. I was no longer in kidney failure. It didn't show any signs of polycythemia or um, bone marrow cancer. Um,
Wow.
blood pressure is just about normal. Still
Cancer, y'all. Cancer. You hear that? Gone.
a little. Well,
Yes.
everything is interconnected,
It
and
is.
we have an immune system that's strong. I mean, if it is strong, it can do a great job. Um, and it can kill, T cells, it can kill cancer cells. When the immune system gets compromised, then a lot of things can go wrong. Or if the immune system gets confused
Right.
because maybe leaky gut and particles get through into the bloodstream that shouldn't be there, well, the immune system goes right after those things and attacks them. But the problem there sometimes is what's called biomimicry, whereas some of these molecules, larger molecules, resemble thyroid tissue or resemble, joint tissue. So the uh, immune system, as it's going around the body looking for that stuff, says, "Oh, there's one," and starts attacking the thyroid, and you have Hashimoto's hypothyroidism or arthritis of various types. So everything is interconnected.
And I think the fuel we give our immune system is so important. Like every plant that you have, like every, fruit or vegetable, if you read the facts about them and the nutritional side of it, you'll read almost every single one. It increases your, immune system. It decreases the, um, I can't think of the word, but it actually like improves making you almost become younger in a sense. It helps your skin, it helps hair, it helps like everything that these foods have in them is like the fuel that we need to feed our body, and we don't give it enough help, in
Yeah,
most cases.
that's what Charlotte Gerson used to say. You can't heal just one thing. You heal one thing, you can heal everything at the same time because everything's
There you go.
interconnected. So the idea is provide the body with an environment that'll allow it to heal. And the human body is a miraculous self-healing machine.
Look at that
And
picture on the screen, guys. We've got him where he was, you can see where he was in the hospital. And I think that's your book, right?
that's yeah, that's the book in the center, right?
Yeah. And look at him now. He looks like he could go skiing.
Right? He looks
I'm
like he
like,
could
is he
run a
skiing?
mile.
Are those skis or something? Or it looks like you're holding the poles like you're about to go skiing or something.
Yeah, those are my trekking poles. I like to use them.
Okay.
And you actually were talking about this before and something I read. You made like little goals or improvements and you like climbed a mountain. Is that right? Or
Yes, right. Uh, I mentioned some of those things in the book that, I went from hardly being able to walk. I mean, struggling just to walk around the house, uh, to hiking and some pretty strenuous hiking too, without joint
That's
pain and without
impressive.
shortness of breath, all those things.
That's
So,
impressive, Rick.
and
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
telling you, you're an
people that say
inspiration to us all.
just I'm getting old, so this has to happen. You are proof that that is not the case.
absolutely true. People get this idea in their head that, well, I'm too old for that. Well, probably not. Probably right now is a good time to start making some changes.
Okay,
That is
So,
well,
the message.
he made those changes at 73, guys. So if he can do it at that age, and a lot of the listeners that we have are under 30 years old, because Jen and I are young at heart as well. So, we tend to migrate towards people who are of all ages, really, whether they're older, younger. I always had to say age is nothing but a number in the scheme of things. It's just a chronological number. It's not who you are. It doesn't make or break who you are as a spirit, as an energy. So the body was meant to eventually, deteriorate and fall away, but your energy is always going to be there. And that's what exists inside of you. And that never ages. It just gets wiser.
And what we do while we're here, it becomes so important. And what you're doing, sharing your story and putting it out there and helping people. Like right now, while this is happening, we could be changing someone's life that thinks that they're just doomed and are in the bed and not able to get out and about. And who knows, a year from now, they might, and this might be the inspiration for them. So I'm like, I feel like this resonates as something that we're passionate about doing.
that's a great concept about getting old. There's a there's a concept called compression of morbidity. We're all going to die eventually of one thing or
Mm-hmm,
another.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So the idea is not just simply to live as long as we possibly can, but to live well and healthy and happy as long as possible, and then go down quickly at the end. So that's the compression of morbidity. Uh, just having a long life
You know
is
what? That sounds like your Uncle Joe, Jen.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
sounds exactly like him.
so I used to do a lot of rest home gigs. I'd sing, play the guitar, and sing the oldies and stuff. And most of the audience, these are small homes, but most of the audience are in a wheelchair all day long. They can't even hear the TV, uh, and they're just existing. I'm not finding fault with that. I'm just saying that uh, having a life where you're in constant pain or depressed all the time, that's not really a life. That's not the
No,
kind of life that I want to live for the next 20 years if I live that long. I want to be as healthy as possible and as active as possible, physically and mentally,
you want the
until that
quality of
time.
life to be there.
Yeah,
Not how long you live, it's how you live.
exactly.
That's a great point. That is, like if you think about where you want to be, and at that point in time, like you said, you want to be able to enjoy, because we spend a lot of our younger life working hard and dealing with so many different things, and there's just I feel like by the time we get it all figured out, we want to be able to just relax, enjoy it, and be healthy.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Well, you've definitely shown us how to get to that goal. That
Hmm.
is definitely a lot about mindset, and how we eat can make a difference. And it's amazing what that can do to like transform, or wait a minute, transform. Had to throw the name of the show out there. But I really definitely appreciate you. Is there anything else that you feel is important that you wanna let everyone know?
Well, only two things, and I think we pretty much already covered them. But maybe if I could sum up, I would say it's never too late. Don't think that you're too old to make healthy changes. And the other thing is, don't beat yourself up if you fall off the wagon. Just get right back on the program and get going. Uh, because you're never a failure until you actually quit. So those are kind of like the
Absolutely.
points for me.
Definitely. And I know that feeling like all of those things that you talked about when you were mentioning the things that you were dealing with, I know people that have probably right now are dealing with it. Even some people in my family, some of the things that you've mentioned, like when you mentioned neuropathy, I know my mom, deals with that. And what, the different things that you've mentioned with high blood pressure and stuff like that. And I felt like I was kind of going down that road. I remember, like I said, going to get like dental work and them saying your blood pressure is high. This was right before I kind of started all of this, and it really was just thanks to Dawn or JJ Video, for she had this. It was a video of, and it had, I remember the guy from Cheers, Woody, on there, who he was talking about, they were talking about eating raw food, and I had always been like into different diets and things, and trying to, I was athletic in school, so I just wanted to kind of really just drop a few pounds and feel healthier. And I've always toyed with like the vegan diet, and I just never really completely transformed over to it. And when we watched that video, it was a documentary, and it, like, if you think about from watching that and where I am now, it changed so much in my life. And I'm like, just sometimes little things like that you wouldn't even think would be able to change your life, but a video or a story or a book or a website, like, it can definitely do that. And it can prove to you by hearing personal stories how, like, I remember him saying that his energy was so high, and that's one of the things I notice that has changed in me, is like, I mean, it's just I'm high energy all the time, and it's the foods that you eat. I barely get tired.
Yeah.
So, and I can see your energy level is up because you're writing books and doing, shows and things, and to see where you were, it is truly amazing and inspiring.
Well, thank you. Now, one quick question before we go. For those people who were not able to be online here or view it live, is this webinar being recorded so they can see it later?
It
Yes.
is. It is. It actually is going to be uh, shown on both of our channels as a replay, so people can access this video on both Veganowledge JJ first and foremost, and then if they can't find that, they can always access it on J&J Video as well.
And also, I'm going to share it on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and they can click on it. It'll be a YouTube link. I'll send it to you, Rick, if you want to put it on either your website or your social media. I'll share it on the group, which, if anyone's interested in like transforming, and just, well, sometimes we share like good recipes we like. Sometimes I'll share articles and stories and things about what's going on in the vegan world, and even stories about people who've changed their health. Or it's the group is called Veganowledge and that's on like Facebook, so you can search it under Veganowledge, or we can put the link in our post. And it's just a way to interact. And like Rick said, just like he's available to answer emails, you can always message me as well on the group page or to my email. And veganowledge.com is the website also, and we'll post the link there.
Excellent. Appreciate it.
J&J, do you want to say anything else?
No, you know what? I am so happy that we got a chance to do this and have this. And now I've gotten a chance to speak with a goat. I've gotten a chance to speak with anytime I get a chance to get some more knowledge. I love it. And I'm completely grateful to you. Shout out to everybody in new media.
Yes, thank you, New Media.
Shout out to Tap Into Love for Hoop Culture, Donetta, Ball Don't Lie podcast, anybody who was in the chat, and those of you who couldn't make it to the stream or the chat. I love you anyway. King Fuse Lit, DZ, all of that. You know, I love all you guys. So Queen Royalty, shout
I
out
know we
to
kind of changed the
Selfmade.
time up too a little bit, so yes,
Yep.
thank you
Shout
guys
out
for
to
being here. But
Selfmade. All those guys.
and thank you for, I know that everyone will watch the replay of it, and I appreciate all the support of New Media and Rick, definitely, and J&J, thank you for helping with the stream. You know, I was
You're so
having the technical
welcome.
difficulties here at the quarter. I'm like, please help me. I don't know if we're all going to be able to hear each other, but it's been awesome, and it's the first one, so you know, of course, I was a little
It's the
nervous for
maiden
episode
voyage,
one.
right? It's the maiden
Yes.
voyage.
But why not start with the best, right? We have
Right.
the most inspiring story I think we could find with Rick, and we are really blessed to have had you here. Thank you for sharing your time and your story with us.
Well, thank you too. It's my pleasure.
Well, that
All
will, I
right.
guess, conclude episode one of Amazing Plants4Mationz. If you have a story you want to come on and tell, we will be here every week. Thank
We hit the wrong thing.
you.
I'll go ahead and do our usual outro.
Okay.
Lord, do not forgive them if they ride on me. Still playing for the sixer, but the five on me. Loyal to some killers, you can die slowly. It's me against the world, all eyes on me. No, I can't flex, no biggie. Junkies going dummy for that wet, no biggie. Steps to a jet, now it's jets, no biggie. Not ready to die, it's time. Lord, do not forgive them if they ride on me. Still playing for the sixers, but the five on me. Loyal to some killers, you can die slowly. It's just me against the world, all eyes on me. No biggie, going dummy for that wet, no biggie. Steps to a check, now it's just no biggie. Not ready to die, but it's time, no biggie.
It's that Kobe flow, every shot I take I hit. I've been on the road, 3.5 in my slip. Fast coming in, when I hit everybody lit. I'm not no street punk, I got businesses legit. Pistol on my hip, you could say I'm just a kill. She could be a bad bitch, but can she help me make a meal? Can she treat me like a king? Can she keep my stomach filled? And when I'm in the field, will she really keep it real? Moving like a Navy SEAL, do it solo, who gon' squeal? Stacking racks, that's my skill, and I love to count my tail. At my house on the hill, feel like we dying just to live. Damn, feel like we dying just to live. To them it is what it is. Take a life and then go chill. Damn, feel like we dying just to live.
Zaddy call me mean, hobby worry when I'm teared up. Can't imagine that that's all I've ever seen. Others call me Trina, they asking have you seen her? Knowing that inside I'm going through it like Katrina. Rock, paper, scissors, we vibing in the mirror. We smoking in the cook, going look like a blizzard.